Okay, so SCR characteristics. BJT, we have mentioned that we cannot use BJT as rectifier for rectifier purpose as it cannot withstand high negative voltage. SCR is a latching device. It is a bipolar unidirectional semi-controlled device. Okay, so here gate current to be given is dependent on load. Loads can be of different types like resistive, inductive, and resistive plus inductive. Now, if it is observed carefully, we can observe that the inductive load and inductive plus resistive load response very um, less difference, and in that case resistance effect may have no effect. So the performance solely dependent on the inductive load. Okay. So SCR involves three characteristics. One is static characteristics, dynamic characteristics, and gate characteristics. Mm, Now, first of all, dynamic characteristics, that is T on and T off, we will discuss. This is the gate pulse given one pulse is given in this picture. You can see this is the gate pulse given. Okay, so this is denoted gate current. Gate current is denoted by this. Now this is the anode to cathode voltage VAK, and this is the anode current, and this is the forward current IFO. Now this device, first stage is that device comes to forward blocking state. As we have mentioned that initially the device comes to forward blocking state. Blocking means blocking positive voltage. During blocking state we will have small forward leakage current. Okay, and now the gate pulse will create or will inject some charged particles into the narrow gate cathode region. Narrow indicate small size. Now this insertion of charge uh, indicated device will take some time to come to conduction state. As SCR is minority charge carrier device, it stores some charge. So it takes time to come to conduction. The time it takes is 10% of its rated anode current, and that is called delay time. 10% of its rated anode current conduction, that is called delay time. So you can see that this is the forward blocking state. When the gate pulse is given, it starts conducting, but since it is a charging device or the capacitive device, it takes some time to get charged. So this is the time from this blocking state to this portion. This time is called TD or delay time, which is actually the 10% of its rated anode current conduction. That is rated anode current is what? This is the rated anode current. This portion, this is the anode current. Rated anode current is given like this. Its 10%, that is the duration where it comes to conduction, and 10% of the rated anode current is started, that duration During the duration when the anode current started conduction 10% of its rated value, that duration is called the delay time. Okay. Next comes the rise time. Rise time is what? Anode current is changing from 10% of its anode to cathode voltage, 10% of its rated current to 90% of its rated current. That is from TT to TP, that is from this portion to this portion. This is the portion where the current comes from 10% of its rated value to 90% of its rated value. And that time is called, that duration is called the rise time. The time taken for reaching anode voltage from its 10% of the anode voltage to the forward on-state drop, and as well as 90% of its rated current to rated current, that particular duration is called the rise time or spread time. And this is the time when it reaches 100%. From 90% to 100% it takes time. That duration is called peak time. Peak time is TP, denoted by TP. So the total on time T on should be equal to TD plus TR plus TP, and that is 4 to 10 microsecond. So actually it is a slow device. After on state it comes to conduction. As you can see, this is the on state, this is the conduction state. Clear? Now what is TD? TD is the delay time, the time taken for reaching anode current to cathode voltage from 100% to 90% of its rated value. And anode current reaching from its forward leakage current from 10% of its rated anode current. Spread time is what? Spread time is the time taken for reaching anode to cathode voltage from 10% of its rated value to forward voltage drop, as well as anode current is changing from 90% of its rated value to 100% of its rated value. This duration is called spread time. When the gate pulse is applied, what will happen? Charged particles will try to move to J2 to J3. From J2 junction to J3 junction, the charged particles will move. And it takes some time to reach those junction. That time is called spread time. That is when the gate pulse is given, some charged particles are inserted. So as you have seen that in this case, from this figure you can see that this is the J2, J1 and J3. Now when the charged particles are inserted through gate, it comes to J2 junction, and from J2 to J3 it will come the charged particles. That will take some time, and that time is called as spread time. Here the DIDT is, that is the rate of change of current, is due to the external load. If the external load DIDT is more than charge spreading velocity, then all charged particles will be accumulated at particular point or it will be stopped. So there will be collision and gate cathode section is going to burn. The accumulation of charge at a particular place is called hotspot or local hotspot. This will destroy the device. So for controlling this situation, DIDT can be controlled by load changing. So load can be snubber. Load can be snubber. Snubber is a circuit used, one for preventing local hotspot, another for external DIDT protection for reducing discharging of DIDT. The once the gate pulse is given to narrow gate cathode section, then the charge initiation will take place at that junction with some finite velocity that is called charge spread with some rate. Due to external DIDT, if the charge spreading velocity is less than the external DIDT, then all the charges will accumulate at one particular place. This phenomenon is called local hotspot. This will physically damage the device. To control this external DIDT, we need to use snubber circuit. Now let us discuss about the dynamic characteristics. This is our dynamic characteristics. T off. That was T on. Now T off. In T off mechanism, this device is in conduction state. That is, the device in conduction state. During switching, it is minority carrier device. So it will store charge due to conductivity modulation. When reverse bias is applied, it looks like two PN junction diode connected back to back in reverse biased connection. Some charge is recovered, and in this case of dynamic characteristics, during the time you can see that uh, initially the current is in conduction place, then the storing, due to storing charge, it comes down. Like similarly, like this is the reverse recovery portion, like diode. And during TGR, in this time, you can see that the some charge is recovered, and this is time is called gate recovery time. After T4, device enters into forward blocking state. So before T1, T4, J1, J2, J3 are in on state, since still the device is carrying current. They are in forward biased. After T4, J1, J2, J1, J3 is forward biased, and J2 is reverse biased or forward blocking state. At T4, if gate pulse is given, assuming transition is over, device will come to conduction. But for SCR is used for controlling the device is allowed to come to forward blocking. At T4, even though voltage and current comes to 0, it is not sure that device comes to forward blocking. J2 may be forward biased or reverse biased. So for that, some more voltage is maintained after T2 by using some external circuit. If external reverse biased voltage is applied for small duration, which is more than T4, assume T5. At T5, the voltage is not 0, current is 0. So at J2, it is in forward blocking state. So if there is any charge in G2, it will be removed, and at T4 already J1, J2, J3 are all forward biased, and if at that point forward biased supply is applied, then it comes to conduction immediately. So to protect the reverse voltage, so to protect the device, reverse voltage is made to conduct some more times by some external means, so that device can come to forward blocking state after T4. Now at T4, reverse biased voltage is 0, but it still has some charge from T4 to T5. From T4 to T5, it recovers charge from J2. So at T5, J1, J3 are forward biased, J2 is reverse biased. From T1 to T5, it is called circuit turn-off time. TC. From T1 to T4, the time is called thyristor turn-off time. Okay. For the same voltage and current rating, SCR is slower device since it is required recover time from J2 junction, and in power diode we have reverse recovery time only, and in SCR we observe another time, that is TGR, that is the gate recovery time, but advantage is controlling in SCR. Turn off time of SCR is 5 to 200 microsecond. Based on uses, SCR is of two types. Based on recovery time, one is inverter grade SCR, that is 5 to 50 microsecond. Rectifier converter grade SCR, that is 5 to 200 microsecond.